Pinkie Pie has haunted me for the past 9 years. First posted to Let's Not Meet, then to RBI. This was the eye-catching title of a thread posted by the appropriately named Reddit user, Pinkie Pie Hater, on December 18th, 2023. No, this is not a story of someone literally being stalked by the actual cartoon character Pinkie Pie. It's not quite that crazy, but it still gets pretty weird. And ultimately, what you're about to hear might turn out to be no less fictional than the pink pony herself. The story starts in 2014. The OP, at the young age of 10, had just made their first Gmail account, as well as a blog they showed to all their classmates. All the comments on the blog were said classmates posting under variations of their own names. Except one, Pinkie Pie, with an underscore. This person never posted anything out of the ordinary, nothing to stand out from the crowd except the username. It was enough to catch the OP's attention, but it didn't mean anything to them quite yet. Until 2 years later, in 2016, the OP made a cringy Roblox YouTube channel, as one does at that age, under an entirely different username and using a different email. Nothing to connect it to the blog, but there again in the comments was Pinkie Pie. It was starting to get a little concerning. The OP goes on to very briefly describe multiple run-ins with the Pinkie Pie character over the years. On their videos, the blog, friends' YouTube videos, even their mother's Facebook, but none unsettled them so much as what was about to happen. The year is 2019. The OP has entered their K-pop era. They regularly post news articles on the K-pop subreddit, linking to sites such as one called Koreaboo. On one such thread, in there with various other users commenting normally on the article and complaining about the quality of said website, is one completely unremarkable post, left by none other than Pinkie Pie. Somehow, this one post was the final insult. The OP deleted everything, every social media account they'd ever owned, including the Reddit one, and retreated from the internet. Both the OP's account and the offending commenters have since been deleted, but the OP has retained the link to the post in question, sharing it for all to see, and the remains of the thread stand in testament to the horrors that transpired there for OP. A year passes. The OP had not made an account on TikTok as all of their peers had, in terror of the Pinkie Pie menace that might follow them there. Instead, they found themselves turning in the polar opposite direction, 4chan.
Who is this 4chan?
Despite being a hive of scum and villainy, the anonymity and the use of Opera browser and a VPN made the OP feel safe. One day, feeling particularly brave and horny, the OP decided it was a great idea to post some nudes. Yes, if you've been following the timeline, OP is indeed only 16 at this point. They claimed in the thread to be 18, which was a lie, and half Asian, which was not a lie, and 4chan loved it, earning the thread 400 to 500 replies. But you know what's coming. Attached to an innocuous comment yet again was that name, Pinkie Pie. On a site where everyone's supposed to be anonymous and you'll be mocked for adopting an identity, someone went out of their way to put on a username, and that username was the one the OP had been dreading all this time. OP flipped out, deleted the thread, deleted every social media account. Again, I guess they made some new ones since the last time they deleted everything. Turned off their phone and disconnected their Wi-Fi. Truly a human being pushed to the edge. But these extreme measures were what was necessary to escape from the ever-present imposition of Pinkie Pie. And for a few more years, OP left it that way. In 2023, the OP decided it was time to return to the internet. They made another Reddit account in early January, mostly lurking and posting little. For the time being, it seemed that the OP had finally escaped Pinkie Pie's grasp, but that wouldn't last forever. In November 2023, soon after the OP's 19th birthday, after attending a cousin's wedding in Japan, the OP decided to post their wedding outfit to the Outfits subreddit. And guess who commented? Well, actually no, don't guess, because the user apparently immediately deleted their account after posting, so the OP never saw the username. But they are sure it was Pinkie Pie, because who else would be posting this?
How is Japan? Why is it more than Belarus is where I live? Belarus is where I live, USA.
Even if it wasn't the dreaded pony, it still isn't exactly pleasant or welcoming to have someone show up online with knowledge of your general location. The OP once again was broken. They reported the comment, deleted everything, and ran. All they can do is ran. After this, the OP would find themselves struck with paranoia to the point of hallucinations, and all over something they can't really explain to anyone. After years of bottling it up, it finally became enough to drive the OP to Reddit and RBI. The story was received fairly well by Redditors, with many of those commenting on the threads offering comfort or help. Some took note of the OP's continued use of their original Gmail account. While it wouldn't apply to 4chan, if the OP had used that account to sign up for other websites, someone with access to it could continue following the OP's activity. Others were more skeptical. The initial post being made to Let's Not Meet was enough of a red flag for some. That subreddit is somewhat well known for attracting some rather absurd stories, and is considered by some to generally be full of shit. Others pointed out little details that didn't quite seem right. For example, the OP claimed that they deleted their 4chan thread. However, there's no way for a user to delete their own thread on 4chan. You can, under some circumstances, delete images you've posted, which might be what OP meant. Additionally, the OP states that someone on the 4chan thread called them a same-fagger. That doesn't add anything to the story, it's just funny. In another case, the OP says they reported the user who posted their location in the outfits thread. The user was deleted, so, according to Redditors in the thread, it shouldn't have been possible to report them. Now, I'm no moderator, but this doesn't seem quite right to me. If a user could become unreportable simply by deleting their account, the site would be flooded with unsavory posts made by accounts deleted before anyone could hit the report button. I would assume that individual posts by deleted users can still be reported, just not the users themselves. Barring that, the OP could simply have directly messaged the subreddit moderators about the post. Another unnoticed oddity is the K-pop post. OP says 2019, but it's actually very early 2020. It's a really minor detail, but it still seems odd for OP to have overlooked when they made such a big deal over keeping tabs on Pinkie Pie, especially when they have the link right there. Altogether, nothing seems too odd, and despite its absurdity, there's no immediate reason to disbelieve the OP's story. The story does span back almost a decade, after all. Some things might just have been confused or forgotten over the years, and evidence exists in the form of those Reddit posts with deleted usernames in the K-pop subreddit. And that's where I come in. Yeah, that's right, I play a role in this mystery.
Don't look at my Reddit account, it's full of cringe.
Somewhat recently, at the time of reading this thread, I had found out about pullpush.io, a website that lets you trawl an archive of Reddit, often including posts and usernames that had since been deleted. So, feeling like a real elite hacker man, I threw the thread OP had linked into the API and checked the post that they had called attention to. Indeed, that user's username was Pineglass1200. Hey, wait a minute, that's not Pinkie Pie. Confused, I posted it to the thread, asking the OP if they had the right post. They could be innocent. After all, the username had the same first three letters. Perhaps OP became suspicious based just on the similarity to his stalker's username. Then the memory morphed over time to it being the exact same. But then I sought to check out the username pullpush provided for the OP of the thread, Clarion for All. Surely there won't be anything too weird in there, right? Right?
My foot fetish origin. I voted for Mary. I was only 20 years old. I lost the lips when we both I had overfeed at by this point. She 4 years old. I bested my penis says I'm. Do you want my feet? Or not ref yet? Spit for my head here. Yet goes me a Toriku. They were so soft and not stick yet on which is the best. Turtles a somewhat long which when I wear at my tongue and turtles and suck on that. I had with girls take up the penis semester and or message where old penis in a delicious walk more than not serious. That my people. Therein is love. Therein is life.
Yeah, this is clearly not the account of a barely legal teenage Asian girl. The account has posts ranging from no-fap Christians to K-pop fap to foot fetish talk. His very first submission is an absolute wall of text about his history with masturbation, starting from his teenage years in 2015. Another post apparently detailed his foot fetish origin story, but this one wasn't caught by pullpush before removal. Perhaps that is a small mercy. We weren't rescued from a long post about the time he got to go to town on his girlfriend's feet, however. Thank goodness for that. One of the final posts from the account was made to the maladaptive daydreaming subreddit. The implication, perhaps, is that the person behind those posts, and the person behind the Pinkie Pie story, is prone to delusions, fabrications, and flights of fancy. Maybe the foot fetish story posts are imagined as well, or at least wildly exaggerated. I also wonder if there isn't some element of fetishism at play with the decision to make the Pinkie Pie hater character part Asian, given Clarion's love for the notably Korean genre of K-pop. His rather intense love of it. By the way, this last post was from early 2023. In other words, the account wasn't hastily deleted back in 2020, but existed for quite some time afterwards. So, what could this all possibly mean? I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation for this, right? Right? The OP went into damage control mode. In addition to a fresh post to RBI that was swiftly removed, Pinkie Pie hater left multiple comments denying the contradictory claims, as other users tore him apart for their apparent deception. Finally, in a comment that was quickly removed by Automod, but still managed to get 12 downvotes, Pinkie Pie hater bids the subreddit goodbye forever. Well then. So what happened here? I could easily enough imagine Pullpush having some kind of error, causing other posts to get lumped in with ones actually made on the OP's old account. But the OP's own reaction seems telling enough. It was all lies, we made it all up. But how it was put together is rather interesting. The K-pop thread with its deleted accounts is the most baffling element. I actually have no idea why the OP would have hung on to this thread for so long. Were they really planning on making a fake post like this for all that time? Or was it something they rediscovered later and decided to create a story around? The Pineglass Pinkie Pie connection implies they knew what the deleted username was. The Pineglass account has its own decently sized post history available via Pullpush, with seemingly different style of posts compared to Clarion, aside from the shared interest in K-pop. So I doubt Pineglass was an account controlled by Clarion or anything of the sort. Pineglass's own posts end after February 2020, a month after the Koreaboo post, implying they deleted while Clarion was still active, which actually makes it even weirder that the name resembles what OP claimed. OP had to have remembered that name for a few years for basically no reason. Still, to the unwitting Redditor, that thread looks like proof that what the OP is describing really happened. Unless you have something like Pullpush, the OP undoubtedly didn't expect anyone to be able to access the names and posts behind those deleted accounts, and once someone did, their story crumbled. OP did attempt to cover their ass in the removed update post, which ironically was also saved by Pullpush, but nothing they have to say quite explains anything. Certainly not enough to make this story look legitimate again. Sometime after the removed update, the OP's own account was suspended, and nothing has been heard from them since. There's a few loose threads left hanging. My attempt to find OP's supposed post to the Outfit subreddit turned up nothing. This doesn't necessarily mean it never happened. It may just not have been caught by Pullpush. I've definitely come across posts that were captured by archive.is or the Wayback Machine which are missing there, or I may just not have put in quite the right search terms. In theory, I could go looking for the 4chan thread the OP supposedly posted, as archives do exist for B, but in practice, I kind of don't want to. In the comments of the original RBI thread, a user named Sutton Bookkeeper posted claiming to have found the Pinkie Pie individual, asking the OP to get in contact with them. I have no idea what this person thinks they've found, and later they state the OP never got back to them, leading them to further believe it was never real. But they did claim to have found the user behind the Pinkie Pie accounts on, quote, multiple intelligent source networks, whatever that means. The user has since deleted the posts. Another user points out a recently posted Care Bears-centered no-sleep story, which they describe as having a similar cadence to the Pinkie Pie story. The possibility exists that this story was an early run of the concept before the OP made their main post, or that the OP read the no-sleep story and was inspired by it. An odd observation, but there's no way to know for sure if it's really relevant. And that's the story of the guy who was stalked by Pinkie Pie. Was it for real, or was it all just a troll? We may never really know, but me personally, I'm leaning towards troll. Hey, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, like and subscribe and all that jazz. I've got more cool videos coming up, so stay tuned.